Here we're given the values of several terms in a sequence, and they're asking us what is the first term. So what do they mean by the word terms? We need to remember that a sequence like this first number would be the first term. That's when n is 1. The second number represents our second term, and so on. So now that we know that, we can fill in the numbers in the sequence we know, the terms that we know. We know that the second term is 8, so let's put an 8 here. We know the fourth term is 17, and the seventh term is 30.5. And we're trying to figure out what is that first term. So they're not telling us if this is an arithmetic sequence when we're adding the same number over and over, or a geometric sequence where we're multiplying by the same number over and over. So I'm going to first test it out and see if it happens to be an arithmetic sequence. So I'm going to pick the two terms that are closest together, and we're just going to fill in all of the blank spaces of the sequence. So here, to get from 8 to 17, what are we adding? Because it got bigger, right? We could subtract them. 17 minus 8, we see that it's 9. We're adding 9. 8 plus 9 is 17. But that doesn't help us find out what this middle term is, the one in between 8 and 17. Remember, with the sequence, we're doing the same thing each time to get the next number. So let's divide that plus 9 into 2. Plus 9 is the same as plus what plus what? Let's divide 9 into 2 equal parts. It's the same as adding 4.5 2 times. So let's see. If we take 8 and add 4.5, we get 12.5. And if we get 12.5 plus 4.5, we get 17. So let's test it out and see if we continue to add 4.5, if eventually we get to 30.5. So we need to add 4.5 3 times. So let's fill that in. Yep, that does work. If we add 4.5, add 4.5, add 4.5, we eventually get to 30.5. So that confirms it. We are adding 4.5 each time in this sequence. So now let's use that to figure out what the first number in the sequence is. What number plus 4.5 gives us 8? So you might realize all you have to do is subtract. If you didn't, when you say what number plus 4.5 gives us 8, hopefully you see that that's just an equation. We're just subtracting 4.5, and we see that number is 3.5. The first number is 3.5, and you can always test it out. 3.5 plus 4.5 is 8, and again, so on and so on and so on. So the first number in our term, that's what this is saying. When n is 1, instead of f of n, they put n equals 1 in there. When n is 1, the first term is 3.5.